Welcome to the Deep Dive. We've been digging through a ton of material lately on how AI is really shaking up the web. And it's become super clear this isn't just some passing phase. It feels like a massive shift. So today, we want to share what we've pulled together as, the most critical strategies to not just keep your head above water, but to actually thrive online as AI kind of becomes the new information gatekeeper. We've got a pretty comprehensive stack of sources for this: articles, research papers, our own notes, all aimed at giving you actionable insights.
Exactly. And this isn't just about tweaking your SEO settings anymore. It's
Mm.
it's a much deeper transformation.
Mm.
It really demands a holistic approach. We're talking everything from your basic content strategy, the technical nuts and bolts of your site, right down to maybe even strategically using AI agents yourself.
Mhm.
And stepping back, the bigger picture is, yeah, there are some significant challenges. We've all seen the reports about click-through rates dropping. But there are also some really exciting opportunities, I think, to boost your visibility and engagement if you adapt smartly.
Okay, so it sounds like we're definitely moving beyond, classic SEO. But how different are we talking? Is it just a subtle change or like a whole new playbook? And what's the hardest part of that switch for most people, do you think?
Oh, it's absolutely a new playbook, a paradigm change, really. Historically, SEO is often about keywords, keyword density, sometimes almost, trying to game the algorithm. But AI has really flipped the script on the digital search world. The fundamental change is moving from that old keyword spotting approach to AI-driven search. And that prioritizes natural language, understanding context, semantic meaning. The AI isn't just hunting for keywords anymore. It's trying to grasp the intent behind the query, the actual value the user's looking for.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the AI gets the whole picture, your content can't just be like a shopping list of keywords.
Precisely. Your content now has to be genuinely helpful. It needs to be comprehensive, well-structured, designed for clarity, for utility, not just ticking boxes for a machine based on keywords. It's a huge step away from those older tactics.
Yeah, what really caught my eye was the whole AI overviews thing. Like Google rolled out early in 2024,
Yeah.
and this idea of zero-click searches.
Yeah.
You're saying AI just gives the answer right there, so people might not even visit my site. That feels huge. What's the immediate fallout you're seeing?
It is huge, monumental even. These features spit out summarized answers directly in the search results. So yeah, often the user doesn't need to click through to your actual website anymore. And the studies back this up. We're seeing pretty significant drops in click-through rates. RFs, I think, reported something like a 34.5% reduction. And Forbes saw drops in some areas as high as 64%. That's massive.
And that kind of leads to this worrying cycle, right? People call it the AI Ouroboros effect.
Mm.
So less organic traffic means less revenue for creators, maybe less incentive or ability to make high-quality human stuff. Then, as that pool of good original content shrinks, the AIs have to rely more on their own old summaries or maybe iffy third-party data for training.
Exactly. Which potentially degrades the quality of future AI answers. It's this self-feeding loop.
A feedback loop we definitely need to watch out for.
Absolutely. So the strategic aim shifts, you see. It's not just about ranking high for clicks anymore. It's about becoming such a trusted, authoritative source that the AI systems actively choose to cite you, to reference your content, even if the user doesn't click your link. You're kind of prioritizing, let's call it AI citation or AI reference, over just chasing that organic click-through.
Okay, right. That definitely changes the game plan. But how do you signal that trustworthiness, especially for, say, a smaller site, a newer business without that big brand name yet? How do you build that EET for an AI? Is it a tough climb, or are there things they can do right away?
It's not necessarily a tough climb if you understand what the AI is looking for. Google's EEAT framework: experience, expertise, authoritativeness, trustworthiness, that's absolutely central here. AI models are kind of built to prefer content from known, respected sources. It's part of how they try to avoid, making things up hallucinations. So they lean heavily on credible sources. So practical ways to show EET include real-world experiences, maybe case studies, have clear author bios, cite credible sources, original data if you have it, get high-quality backlinks from reputable sites, and crucially, keep your content updated, especially with current research. Accuracy is key.
Okay, so if that's the big picture shift, let's dive into some actual content strategies for AI. My first thought is, if AI is conversational, should our content be? How do we write conversational AI-friendly content? Is it just writing like a normal person?
Well, it's a bit more than just sounding natural, though that helps. It's because AI models are, at their core, built to answer questions and generate human-like text, right? So by structuring your content like direct answers, using a natural conversational flow, you're basically pre-optimizing it for how AI digests and summarizes information. It's almost like feeding the AI a pre-digested meal, making it super easy for your content to get cited. So yeah, instead of just targeting AI SEO, you might optimize for a full question, like how can I improve my website for AI search?
Huh, I like that analogy, pre-digested meal. Okay, so what are some practical tactics then that come from that idea?
Well, putting FAQ sections on your key pages is really good. AI platforms often pull answers directly from those structured formats. Also think about how you start articles, maybe with a compelling stat or a direct question or a good example, and then end with clear, concise summary lists or bullet points. Why? Because AI systems, frankly, prefer content that's easy to summarize for their own outputs, makes it more likely you'll get cited. Less work for the AI, basically.
Got it. Okay, next up, structured data. Schema markup. I've heard it called a critical translator for AI. What's it actually doing to help AI understand our stuff?
Think of it as adding like little labels or annotations to your web page content in a standardized format. It helps AI directly and precisely understand the context and the purpose. What is this piece of information? So the AI doesn't have to guess. And that means much more accurate categorization, much higher chance of getting cited correctly. There are specific types that are really useful, like FAQ schema, organization, article how-to, video object schema. Using these helps clarify the relationships between different entities, people, places, concepts on your site. That's key for AI's semantic understanding, and Google gives you tools for this, thankfully. The rich results tests and the Sigma Markup Validator are great for checking your implementation.
Building on that, you mentioned authority and expertise, creating high-quality, research-backed stuff, citing sources. But how does a site really become the expert in AI's view, beyond just one good article?
Yeah, one really effective way is building topic clusters. That means creating groups of interrelated articles all focused on a specific subject area. That really signals deep expertise in that domain. And remember, AI doesn't just look at Google. It pulls info from all over LinkedIn, YouTube, academic papers, you name it. So expanding your brand's presence beyond just your website is important too. And finally, content audits. They're not just good practice anymore, they're essential. Why? Because AI values accuracy and currency above almost everything. Outdated info doesn't just get ignored, it can actively poison AI responses or make your site seem less trustworthy, hitting your EET score.
Right, and all this really circles back to understanding user intent, doesn't it? Knowing the goal behind the search query seems absolutely vital. How are tools like, say, Google Trends, Answer the Public, SEMrush, ARFs helping us figure that out now in the AI age?
They've become even more crucial, I'd say. You can still categorize keywords, informational, navigational, transactional, to tailor content, but AI uses, sophisticated natural language processing, NLP, behavioral pattern recognition, even predictive analytics. It can interpret user intent way beyond simple keyword matching now, which allows for really personalized content delivery, sometimes even before the user clearly asks for it. It's like the AI is anticipating what you need next.
Okay, let's switch gears to the technical side. Because great content isn't enough if AI can't find or process it efficiently, right? So basic stuff like submitting to Google Search Console, Bing Webmaster Tools, managing robots.txt, XML sitemaps. Still important. Or are they kind of legacy things now?
Oh, definitely not legacy. If anything, they're amplified. These tools are your direct communication lines to the AI. Your sitemap isn't just a map anymore. It's like a blueprint for the AI's internal knowledge graph of your site. Robots.txt isn't just blocking stuff. It's guiding the AI's valuable attention and page speed. Its importance is just massively amplified now. AI models favor respected brands, right? And your site's performance is a direct signal of that brand respectability and, frankly, user retention. Slow site, bad signal.
So those core web vitals, load speed, interactivity, visual stability, they're basically direct messages to the AI about your quality and authority. How do we make our site super fast for AI then? What are the key moves?
Right. So the key moves are things like image compression using formats like WebP or AVIF so they download faster, minifying your code CSS, JavaScript is tidying it up so it's quicker for machines to read, using CDNs, content delivery networks to serve your content from locations closer to the user. And for sites that rely heavily on JavaScript for interactivity, pre-rendering is huge. It's like giving the AI a ready-made snapshot of the page so it doesn't have to struggle to render it all itself.
Okay. And then the non-negotiables, mobile friendliness and security. Responsive design is obviously essential with most traffic being mobile now. Any new twists AI brings here?
It really boils down to trust and accessibility for the AI. You absolutely need an SSL certificate, run your site entirely on HTTPS. That's not just for user data, it's a trust signal to AI. The site is secure, it's legitimate, and remember Google's mobile-first indexing. A bad mobile experience, that directly tells the AI your site might be lower quality or harder to assess. If the AI struggles on mobile, it assumes users do too.
Right. And strategic internal linking, entity optimization. You said internal links are like a map for AI, helping it see how topics connect. How's that different now from just passing link juice?
It's a really powerful shift. Using descriptive anchor texts like check out our comprehensive Bali travel guide instead of just click here gives AI much stronger clues about what that linked page is about, especially for entity-based understanding. Think of internal linking now as actively building a detailed mind map or even like a mini wiki just for AI right within your own website. Every good internal link helps the AI connect the dots. It shows you're not just a collection of random pages, but a cohesive, deep resource on a topic. This is literally how AI constructs its knowledge graph of your domain, understanding the relationships between your content pieces.
Okay, let's zoom in on some big architectural choices.
Yeah.
A key one is static website versus a full web application. Static sites, like you said, digital brochures, HTML, CSS, mainly for reading. Web apps are more like software, doing complex stuff, data processing, very interactive, using various languages. What's the trade-off here specifically for AI visibility?
Yeah, this is a critical strategic trade-off. Web apps can offer much richer user experiences, definitely, but they often rely heavily on JavaScript to create that interactivity. And JavaScript rendered content can sometimes be, well, hidden, or at least challenging for AI crawlers to fully access and index properly. So this often means you need specific solutions, like that pre-rendering we mentioned, just to make sure the AI can actually see and understand everything on the page. Otherwise, that great user experience might actually hurt your AI discoverability. It's a balance.
Interesting. Okay, another common element, but one that seems tricky, is iframe content. You see it used for embedding things. How do AI and search engines actually handle that? You said it's treated like a separate web page.
Exactly. It's crawled and indexed independently from the page it's embedded on, the host page. So there's absolutely no guarantee that the content inside the iframe will be associated with your host page or contribute anything to its SEO ranking.
So what are the hidden pitfalls there? What often trips people up?
The challenges are pretty significant, actually. You can run into indexing problems with the iframed content itself. Critically, no link equity gets passed back to your host page from any links inside that iframe. They're treated as external. You risk duplicate content issues if the same content exists elsewhere. Iframes can slow down your page load speed, and overall, it can lead to a really significant erosion of SEO credit for the host page. Think about it. If you put content that's meant to build your EET inside an iframe, its value is basically disconnected from the page embedding it, at least in the AI's eyes.
Okay, so that sounds pretty limiting for SEO. What are the best practices then? Are iframes just for like embedding a YouTube video or a map now?
Pretty much. While they can be okay for user experience sometimes, they generally do not help your host page's SEO authority or EEAT. They're tools for maybe embedding non-core external stuff. But you need careful SEO mitigation. So, best practices. First, definitely avoid using them for your primary important content. If the iframe content might not get indexed, use a NewsScript tag to provide alternative content for older browsers or crawlers. Make sure links are attributed properly if you happen to be embedding your own content from another part of your site, though that's usually not ideal. Avoid overusing them. Stick to non-essential things like ads, maps, maybe simple widgets. Optimize them for mobile and speed-responsive design, lazy loading. You can use schema markup for the embedded content itself, if appropriate. And there's a directive indexif embedded you can explore if you specifically want Google to try and index certain iframed content and associate it with the host page, but it's not a magic bullet.
Right. Okay, let's shift to something that feels really proactive and exciting. Putting AI agents or assistants directly onto your website. This seems like a whole new way to engage people.
It really is a different level. AI search summarizes existing stuff, but AI agents create a direct, interactive channel with your users. It moves the experience from just passively consuming information to actively solving problems, getting personalized guidance right there. Plus, it gives you incredibly valuable first-party data about what your users actually need and struggle with. You can then use that data strategically.
Okay, so how do you actually integrate one? Does it take a huge dev team,
Right.
or is it getting easier?
It's gotten dramatically easier, actually. The barrier to entry is way lower now. You first need to pick an AI platform. Options range from the big players OpenAI, Google Cloud AI, AWS, to open source frameworks like TensorFlow or PyTorch. But crucially, there are now loads of user-friendly low-code or even no-code platforms, things like MindStudio, ElfSight, and others. This combination, powerful pre-trained models and APIs from the big guys, plus these easy-to-use platforms, has really democratized access, makes sophisticated AI much more available. Then technically, it's about getting API access, handling authentication securely, and then choosing how to embed it. Maybe a simple JavaScript snippet, maybe server-side rendering, or often, yeah, using an iframe widget for the chat interface.
That brings up a common question then. Do you need a full web application to have an AI agent? Because you see simple chatbots on basic static sites all the time.
Yeah, it's nuanced. For simple chatbots, the kind that answer basic questions or route inquiries, absolutely not. You can embed those pretty easily into a static site using an iframe or JavaScript snippet. Minimal coding needed, often. But a full web application architecture becomes more suitable, maybe even necessary if you want deep integration, like if the AI needs to connect to your backend systems, process complex user data on the fly, or create highly dynamic, personalized experiences that actually manipulate data based on what the user does. It really hinges on the depth and the type of interaction you want that AI to provide.
Gotcha. And to wrap up this section on agents training and customization seem key, right? Like the AI needs to learn your business.
Exactly. It's not just plug and play, usually. You'll want to feed it your specific business data, maybe product info, internal knowledge base articles, create specific Q&A sets, use your existing site content. And then, crucially, you need ongoing monitoring. Set up feedback loops, track how it's performing, see what questions it struggles with, adapt it as user needs change or your data evolves. It's like training a new employee really needs continuous learning.
Okay, so as we pull this all together, let's just quickly recap the main strategic points. The old ways, like keyword stuffing, definitely over. It's all about conversational, high-quality content that demonstrates EEE, and importantly, is designed so machines can easily summarize it.
Yep, and that amazing content needs a solid technical foundation supporting it. Efficient crawling, great page speed, being mobile-friendly, smart internal linking, all crucial. Plus, remember those important architectural decisions, web app versus static site, depending on your needs.
And just to hammer it home,
Yeah.
be cautious with iframes. They generally won't boost your SEO authority much. Use them carefully for specific embedding tasks.
And don't forget the flip side, the opportunity. Integrating AI agents can really enhance user engagement and even streamline some of your operations. It's a powerful tool.
Absolutely. The whole AI landscape is moving so fast, isn't it? Requires really staying alert, monitoring things, and being ready to adapt continuously. You can't just set it and forget it.
No, definitely not. And maybe a final thought to leave everyone with. As AI keeps learning and evolving, the digital presences that truly succeed won't just be the ones that are seen by machines, they'll be the ones that are genuinely understood and critically trusted by them. So the question for you is, what steps will you take starting today to make sure your content isn't just found, but is truly valued in this new era of intelligent information?